ideas for songs and came across an article, and I've seen others in local papers and things, and eventually I just got the idea to put the song together, and I didn't know that others have done it. I met Valerie later, and she had her version, and I had mine, and we compared them, and she said, same information, different song. Let's go to Tucker's Island and see what we can find before the sea can take her on the next high spring tide. We'll spend a day together basking in the sun, and if we find a treasure, you know it would be fun. Well, once there was a town there where folks could retreat from city or the factory that was held in summer's heat. Houses inns with families used to be back then, but when the sea destroyed them, they've not been there again. Let's go to Tucker's Island and see what you can find. You know, I was going to think that you should join me and sing along because this...
It's not going to happen.
But, which, if you're interested, songs like this that teach a little bit about our history, the island that disappeared and came back. And sometimes people say, well, you know, the songs are pretty simple in structure, but I find that people are singing them before I'm done.
Yeah.
So last night we did a new one that we did for the ALO concert a couple weeks ago at Albert Hall, and everyone was singing it before we were finished. That was the first time they heard it.
Wow.
So that's intentional on my part. A song like Tucker's Island that you can go off humming about the facts, you know, that refrain, that's the door opener, and young children catch on quickly, and then they've learned something. So part of my objective is to have some fun, have a sing-along. That's my roots in hootenanny days in the early 60s, and make it repeatable so that almost anyone who can have an average ability to play any guitar can learn the song.
So you want me to sing? I ain't gonna sing.
No, but I just thought I would give you an explanation.
Yeah.
Because a lot of my songs are of that character. I wouldn't think Tomorrow Castle, for example, would be a sing-along because there's a very complex story. But Tucker's Island, From the Cape to the Hook, they're all designed for
very
that.
Very catchy.
Clamor's Odyssey. Say, I've got to get that right rhythm. Cherry stones, little necks, sometimes even chowders. Up at dawn at the slip, Garvey's in the water. Hope the wind ain't blowing hard, nor'eastern or blue northern. Back by night with our sacks, counting on them dollars. Treading off a Barnegat or off Harvey Cedars. Sometimes I just wanna quit, my woman says I oughta, but I don't know what I'd do, not working on the water. I call this Barnegat Bay rock and roll. Well, you know, there was this thing that the Clammers put on, this protest about the jet skis. Well, I wrote this song a little while ago, and it has the lines in there that I'll go on with it, because you can pick up the whole story of the my composite clamor. Came down from the Navasink, where my daddy taught me. 20 years of posted beds wasn't getting better. Made me haul 'em way down here, flush 'em in clean water. Then they said you better lease the bay and put seed clams on the bottom. Wound up wandering like a nomad up and down the coast. Now a family man can't pay the rent on a house and the boat. Looks like I'll just drive a truck or work a shift of 40. Strange it is to find that I'm now a part-time clammer. Just like Benny's in city folk, rake 'em on summer weekends. Well, that's okay, I'm off the bay. It's sliced up by them scooters. It's not the way it used to be, I fear it's changed forever. Now my son will have to be a doctor or a lawyer, and if he is, then he'll come back. He'll live right on the water, for that's the way it's a-heading now into the future. Scooters, them jet skis, I call them scooters.
Scooters, huh?
You could see them, and they cut across in the shallow part, and if the sea clam is down there, you know, it's going to churn it up and disturb it. And see, when did I copyright that song? Because that, you know, it seemed like it was a while before I really heard anybody concerned about that. And that's part of Sea, Sand, and Pines. In fact, that's the lead song of the final version of Sea, Sand, and Pines.
Now,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was going to ask you the style of playing.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what would you call your style? Flat picking or?
Well, I mix it up. Some, you know, I do a little finger style here and there, but predominantly I do a flat picking. Some people call it Travis picking, I guess.